It's time for Newsbeat here on Metro TV with me, Annie Frompo. You're welcome to the KWABENYA studio here at North Ridge. We're streaming live on Metro TV Ghana on Facebook, on Metro TV_GH on Instagram and Twitter. Let's take a closer look at headlines of stories coming up. Members of the ruling New Patriotic Party participating in the ongoing constituency elections urged to put the party first and seek to promote perfection as some constituencies record misunderstandings. Member of Parliament for Northern Constituency Samuel Okujeto Ablako said the minority in Parliament will cite government and the Ghana Revenue Authority for contempt if they proceed with the implementation of the e-levy. And on the international front, NATO Secretary General Jens says NATO ready to keep up its support for Ukraine in the war against Russia for years. Right, in our first story, Managing Director of State Transport Corporation, Nana Akomya, has urged all NPP members to put the party first and seek to promote peace in the ongoing constituency elections. This follows some fisticuffs and misunderstandings at some constituencies in the ongoing elections.
Having 100 constituencies and there are a couple of flashpoints. You know, when you have the national elections, they will tell you, even before the election, they will tell you this place is a flashpoint and that place is a flashpoint. So it went well, generally. Oh, people would always have issues. I mean, that's why election is a contest. So after every contest, there will be people who would have an issue. Even when we're at school, when you write exams, school exams, class tests, those who don't do well, they always have issues. They will say that, you know, the questions they were expecting, somebody swerved them, the teacher swerved them, or somebody copied. You know, this class test or the marking wasn't good. I mean, how did I get this? You know, this is not my index number, you know, all kinds of things. So once there's a contest, you would always have some people who may feel aggrieved. Now you are looking at 1,000 delegates in 100 constituencies. That's 10,000 people. At the end of the day, the larger interest is the party. Like President Kufuor said, it's better to be a messenger in your party in government than a general secretary with a party in opposition. So a bona fide NDC member, MPP member, will see the larger interest of the party. Of course, the people who have emerged leaders, they have to reach out to those who feel aggrieved in the process. That definitely will be done. They will be encouraged to do that. In some instances, even national officers or regional officers will go to constituencies and try and assuage people who have been upset or hurt.
Well, Nana Akomya is also former member of Parliament for Okankwe South constituency. Now, the Ghana Police Service says it has arrested 2 individuals who posed as police officers at the voting grounds of the Okankwe South MPP constituency elections. The 2, whose names were given as John Esselbath and Enoch Kwame Bosompim, were spotted at the Prince of Peace School compound at the Bubuashi, where the elections was taking place.
A statement signed by the Director General in charge of Public Affairs, DCOP Kwisifori, said the 2 who have been arrested are currently in custody and assisting with ongoing investigations. It added that the 2 suspects, John Esselbath and Enoch Kwame Bosompim, were spotted on Thursday, April 28, 2022 at the Okankwe South constituency where the voting was taking place. It noted emphatically that the 2 suspects are not police officers. Earlier on Thursday, there was confusion at the venue of the governing New Patriotic Party's constituency elections in Okankwe South. as some members masked up to prevent the polls from taking off. There was also heavy security presence at the voting grounds as some aggrieved party members complained about their names being removed from the constituency's voting album. Some angry members were seen engaging in a scuffle with the police, while others were also seen engaging in physical fights.
We'll proceed to follow up with the police later on. Now, let's extend our tentacles to other regions, and we'll cross over to the central region for some updates from our correspondent Akwesi Ado on the NPP constituency elections. Akwesi, thank you for joining us. Good afternoon to you.
Yes, good afternoon, Annie.
So where have you been able to visit today?
Yes, Annie, today I have been at the Utu Senior West constituency, which is Utu Breku. As I speak now, voting commenced a while ago to have executives of the party at the constituency level elected. Now, let me mention that over here in the constituency, there's been some form of misunderstanding for some time past now, as the party had its constituency chairman suspended, and so the incumbent chairman was being suspended, having him being replaced, and so he is not part of the elections. So the man who was made to replace him is contesting the elections. So currently he is the acting chairman and was previously the first vice chairman. Now, over 900 delegates are expected to take part in the exercise. Even though the constituency has witnessed some form of misunderstandings within the party hither to the 2020 elections, I would say that today we've had most of the delegates comporting themselves in the exercise. We've not had any sort of skirmishes here at the center.
Is that to say that they probably, had some advice from the previous one that happened yesterday and have seen how things are happening? We're not seeing people who are coming up saying we don't have our names in the register and complaints such as that.
Yes, when it comes to intra-party politics here in the central region, especially within the NPP, apart from some few constituencies which always record some sort of skirmishes, the others are always calm and they are always well kept when it comes to elections. So I'm sure that it may be that they've had a clue from what happened yesterday at some centers, or they are following their tradition.
They're following their tradition. Do we have any of the supporting teams around? You have some maybe old executives who are around and ensuring that their old executives will be maintained in the current ongoing elections. Do we have any of the national executives around? Have you spotted some around? What are they doing?
I haven't seen national executives around here yet, apart from the regional executives who were being detailed to come and supervise the elections. One interesting fact about this election here is that almost all the current executives are also running for various positions, except that they are rather looking out to be elected into different portfolios.
When is it likely for voting to end?
Let me say that by 2-3 p.m. Voting should end, and then counting begin.
That's all things being equal, that should nothing happen?
Yes, barring any circumstances here.
Right, Akwesi Ado, thank you for your time. Follow through. We'll definitely get back to you by the end, close of polls, and then we'll see how that also went. You're still watching Newsbeat here on Metro TV. Now let's give you some more details of the NPP elections. Meanwhile, the elections in the Nantong constituency in the northern region was also suspended after some skirmishes actually happened. Okay, is Alhaji Hadi Tufeu online? All right, so the MP for the area, Alhaji Hadi Tufeu, and the DC demanded the removal of some names from the register before voting could commence. And the two were also later chased away by some supporters in the constituency. So let's now get onto Zoom and speak with Al-Hassan D. Baba on the updates. Al-Hassan, thank you for your time. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Annie.
So can you give us updates of what's happening in Nanton now?
Yeah, thank you so much. As we speak, nothing is happening in Nanton constituency and the Yendi constituency as well. And earlier, Savlugo constituency was suspended. So 3 constituencies in the northern region were not able to hold their elections. And in the Nanton constituency, as you rightly mentioned, the MP demanded something which did not go down well with supporters of the party, and he and the DCE were chased away from the venue. But I spoke to the Northern Regional Secretary of NPP a while ago, and he told me that they have not been directed by the national executives or national secretary as to when to carry or to hold those elections. For that matter, they are putting it on hold just like they did yesterday. So currently, the situation is calm in the northern region. Meanwhile, the other constituencies that were able to hold their elections did it very successfully. But the only thing that came out of it was the fact that many incumbents lost their positions in the northern region.
When you said that the 2 were chased away, and then in the case of Nanton, and the elections were suspended, how exactly did it happen? Did we reorganize everything and carry it back to the Electoral Commission's office and dissolved, if voting had happened and hadn't happened and we stopped the queue? How did it happen?
Very good. The DC and the MP demanded that those names or some names should be taken away from the register, which, like I said, did not go down well with the supporters of the party. So they protested. In fact, they even tried beating the MP and the DC at the venue. So when they left, they came to Tamale from Nanton, and later the party regional secretary suspended the election. So it wasn't that the people left or carried things to the ECE office. It was the regional executives of the party that suspended the elections, and the EC had no option than to also obey.
So the EC packed its materials and left?
Exactly.
So you are saying that most of the executives lost their positions, as in the current executives. In the case of which constituency are we talking about here?
In the case of Tamale South constituency,
Tamale South.
The Tamale South, the chairman lost. Sanargu, the chairman lost. Tamale North, Tamale Central, almost all the constituencies within Northern region. Many of the old executives lost their positions.
Why do you think that happened?
Well, we can, in a way, relate it to how aggrieved or how supporters or grassroots of the party are not happy with the performance of many of the executives and to some extent the government, because many of them are with the belief that the executives are enjoying while the grassroots are suffering. So they believe that they are denying them successes of or fruits of this government. So we believe that contributed to many of them losing their positions in the elections.
Right, Hassan, follow up at least on how about the Yendi constituency? What can you tell me about Yendi?
Yeah, the Yendi constituency is still just like it was yesterday. Like the regional secretary told me, the national secretary instructed that the elections of the Yendi constituency should be put on hold. But like I said yesterday, the people or the delegates of the constituency are with the belief that some national executives and some influential leaders of the party are sabotaging the current MP of the area, who is Farouk Aliu Mahama, okay. And they are trying their possible best to ensure that he loses the primaries come 2024. So that is why they are doing all those things, according to some of the party supporters on the ground. So they are really aggrieved. They are not happy that the elections couldn't come on. Meanwhile, the other faction, the chairman's side, they are happy that the elections were put on hold so that the issue of the register will be fixed before any other thing.
Thank you, Dibaba, for the details. We'll come back for some more updates there. So it's, that's Yendi and Nantong constituency, some updates coming from there, indicating that Tamale North, Tamale Central, Tamale South, all of that area, or those areas lost their actually incumbent chairman. Let's move from the MPP. We'll bring you some more updates in subsequent bulletins. But the Ghana Revenue Authority, GRA, has indicated that the implementation of the 1.5 electronic transfer levy will be done in phases. In a letter to all charging entities on Thursday, the GRA said it has observed that some of the charging entities were yet to fully integrate with the e-levy management system, hence its decision. All right, so updates is coming in. We'll come back to e-levy, but some NPP delegates from KWABENYA constituency have vowed to boycott the constituency's upcoming elections, and the group numbering over 600 have claimed that names have been deleted from the party's elections album. Now, my colleague Henry Kwesibedu sat through the briefing and joins us live for more. Henry, thank you for joining us. What's going on at the constituency now? So we're trying to speak with Henry Kwesibedu, who is currently at KWABENYA. Henry, I can see you, but I cannot hear you. So if you can take over, what exactly is happening in KWABENYA? What's going on with these executives who are making claims?
All right, so Annie, I'm currently at the KWABENYA MPP office here, where some aggrieved, delegates are not really happy with what is happening. As I speak to you, they are done with their press conference, and their concerns are that over 600 of some of the delegates, most of them who are I'm flanked by my left and right to most of them, they are saying that their names have been deleted from the album, and they are not happy with that. But I'll be speaking to some of them shortly. But I have with me the personal assistant or the aide to the Member of Parliament here, the KWABENYA MP, Sarah Adjoasafo. I'll be speaking to him briefly. Sir, you're welcome to Newsbeat on Metro TV.
Thank you very much.
You've raised a lot of concerns. You say your names have been deleted from, that is the album. Why were the names deleted from the album?
For now, we wouldn't be able to tell why the names were deleted, but then it's just because probably somebody feels that they need some advantage. I mean, for the constituency position, and probably in the future too for the parliamentary election. Oh, okay.
Sure. So you've said how many names in total have been taken from the register?
Over 600 names have been taken from the album.
Is it targeted?
Yes, it's targeted because these are people who are perceived to be supporters of the Member of Parliament. Yes, these are people who are perceived to be supporters of the Member of Parliament and the team contesting in this election. So they are the people whose names have been removed from the album.
Sure. If you say you are boycotting the election, what exactly are you doing? What are you doing?
Well,
you're not going to turn out for the election?
No, we are not. As a team, nobody from our team is going into the contest, meaning we have withdrawn from the contest. Our names and our pictures will not be found on the ballot sheet on election day, and neither are our supporters to going to the election grounds on Sunday to cast their vote.
The elections, I'm sure it's on Sunday, as you said earlier. I'm sure they are done printing the ballot papers. How do they then go around, deleting your names?
I was at the regional office yesterday, and indications to me were that the ballot for KWABENYA constituency hadn't been printed as of yesterday when we were leaving the regional office in the evening. So
have you sent an official communique to the regional office for them?
We went there and presented letters of the withdrawal to the regional office and to the national office, indicating that we are withdrawing from the contest in the constituency.
Are you not sure? There are concerns with the Member of Parliament, Sarah Adjoasafo. We all know what has happened in Parliament. She refusing to be part of the team or the members of Parliament that voted for the passage of the controversial electronic transaction levy, which starts on May 1. Are you not sure those are the reasons why people are, those on the other side are doing what they are doing?
You see, the issue is this. Let us even assume, without admitting, that the Member of Parliament
has done something wrong. As a party, knowing that this constituency is your stronghold, the breadbasket of votes for the party, do you, based on, let's take it that just the member of parliament, will you take a decision that because the member of parliament has done something wrong, you are going to offend about 600 people? I don't think it makes sense, if you ask me, because even if she has done something wrong, these members here, individual members, they haven't done anything wrong. Just save for their support for Honorable Sarah Adwoa-Safo and the team that is contesting. So if you base your decision to disenfranchise these people based on what the member of parliament has done or has refused to do, for me, it doesn't smack of somebody who is serious or who is politically astute, if you ask me.
Sure. Thank you very much. I will leave it there with you. I'll be speaking to some of the delegates who are here. I'll speak to you briefly. But Annie, I must say that I think about 20 minutes ago, a few of them tried burning one of these, and it was, vehemently resisted by the other person. They didn't want that to happen. Boss, what did they say?
The chairman answer.
Who's here? You would have him.
I mean, cover Bebre, Edin Efrimu. The 28th February, and I'm paying for Casa Yabatuaba. And here the campaign, if you're BMU, I pay and call from Batuaba Maya, our police executives. If you are no African paying for say, Omun to me, I'm young to Abanibium, and here call on post. Yenya call on post, or my acclamation. After you book Muswa, Yanko Broma, or Murphy, Abonomu, and Tiana, Yenya, and
Yanamoka break the age, the bed, or man, Shanamania,
and paying for say. Sa chujuwa ependanta ana mpanifo se sa bebra manka amanianso ama entia de ni mpanifo eni asem aka sa omse boss akwadinti agi akirema eji sa mpanifo so monhwe ema asem wo yanka anan wo kinen ansasande na dudi a ene e de yankata putuo nhio na ye nijo na mo se putuo se dia ye bedi nijo ye be ka chema sa akwatia ama asia akwatia amadomi kwabenya fomina abadomi kwabenya akwatia amadomi kwabenya fomina abadomi kwabenya de o ka champion fo no
Thank you. So he says that he thinks that what is being done by the other side or the people who are perceiving that they are supporters of the member of parliament Sarah Adwoa-Safo is not right, and due to that they think that, remember what happened in the Formina constituency when an independent candidate won. He is now the second deputy speaker of parliament. He won. They may be forced to file an independent candidate in the biggest constituency in Ghana, the KWABENYA constituency. Boss, I mean, also briefly in 30 seconds, what do you have to say?
Masa mwana se mijindi kwa brasante kwa benya untimi nko enko ye campaign ya hodi ni ye moja ya yema ne kwa benya be ye kwa benya ye srempani fosi ye pa mo chew ani die no obu kwa so mi bukoto de pa mo chew omumra ha ye srewam omumra ha ni ya bre ehwe ene bura ye de aburu yen ne se ne omu be chesem ye nkrofo mo se mo ma ye nchem ya chem ye de nkrofo de aba mo fa nchem masa omatuni nyina to agu omu personal interest in tea and then we had the KWABENYA be ye somebody for another ye pa wo chow to ani be hwa ni abre to ani be hwa ya bre KWABENYA udimi enye campaign wo KWABENYA ehwe it be bomb me naked enso me kura unit committee be ko ye nyina ko ye party omkoma ye party keke enso me nkuto na me wini ye ende diemudi ye ni ye sre no onkai dabi ye sre no ye pani chow omman pedi for medam. So
that was another delegate we heard from. He says that he's appealing to the president and Ado Dankwa Akufo-Addo to intervene in what is happening in the KWABENYA constituency. According to them, over 600 names have been deleted from the register. Let me hear from one of the women who is also. Mami, everyone say.
Me pacho your friend me nine fasedu. Me pacho my police station 20 years. My police station 20 years ni. Yayi me dear free. Yayi me dear free do be KWABENYA. Pu ye be election. Me bra papa me kwatra police station. E frefre ni pa. E mo bo be to aba. Me be free ho kwada me na se nyina peja. And na okwa ni team. I say, I'm paid do me KWABENYA ha. It's oba ye dear free. Ni e dey say yankasa putu on she. Na putu on dey she dia. Ye be dijo. It is a bad for Mamudia, Domi KWABENYA, Yabamna co opposition. Yasma Yakano, so Dom Board boy. Ama, Yayi Dean in Aya Day, Afrim, Nadombodu dear, Yanishia Catrano, Nasanadwa Mamudia, Domi KWABENYA, Yabadanano, Yabadanano, Pa, Masmami Wakano, Madame.
So that was one of the delegates who is aggrieved, who is also saying that they are accusing the General Secretary of the party, Honorable John Buedo, saying that he's the one who is instigating whatever that is happening in the KWABENYA constituency. So, Annie, from the party's office here at Dome, I'm Henry Kwesibedo reporting live from Metro TV, where some aggrieved delegates are saying that over 600 names have been deleted from the album in an election which is expected to go off or come off on Sunday. So we'll come back here on Sunday to see if all these persons here will not show up at where the center where the elections will happen.
Well, and Metro TV will bring you all the drama that's unfolding within the various constituencies as far as the primaries of the MPP is concerned, and give you some more updates from there as well. You're still watching News BT on Metro TV. We'll take a breather. We'll be back shortly. All right, you're welcome back. Now, Member of Parliament for North Home Constituency, Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa, says government should pay heed to the request of Ghanaians to elect metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives on non-partisan basis.
There are all these surveys, there are all these civil society organizations, NGOs, opinion leaders, media, professional groups who also expressed their view. It became clear that the Ghanaian people want to go non-partisan. Then you pull the brakes. So what the president simply did was my way or no way. If all of you won't come along for us to elect our MMDCs on partisan basis, then there will be no election at all. We will not make progress on the matter to do with elections of MMDCs. And I think that kind of undemocratic posture, that kind of my way or no other way, everybody else must stay, must be silenced. Your views don't matter. Go to hell. If you don't agree with me, there will be no progress. It's wrong. In any case, why are we going for a referendum? Because we want to see what the popular view is. So, regardless of what you want.
Well, meanwhile, Managing Director for State Transport Corporation, Anna Komia, has also called for the constitutional reforms, but said the president must not be blamed for delay.
We need to be a bit careful about these things. We have problems. Many of it come from the way the Constitution is structured. Constitutional review should have happened a long time ago. And I'm saying that in 2010, we took $3 million and did a national survey, collected the views, a report was issued. It didn't work. 2010 and today, how many years? So we can still call for constitutional review, but we shouldn't make it like it's somebody or some regime that is against constitutional review. This particular matter that you even brought up about the election of MMDCEs, I'm saying that this call has been there for a long time. And if you went to the reports that came out in 2010, it's there. It's taking President Akufo-Addo to try and give meaning to it, to try and give it effect. So let's give him credit. And his view that maybe if we go this way, it's better. It's his view. But he says he's going to seek consensus. That means he's prepared to come in there and trade. If you are looking for consensus, it means you are coming in there, you are prepared to shift your position. And that position is not just his, it's not his personal position that he wants to impose on everybody else. At least your General Secretary has been in favor of that position. So that's how we should proceed.
All right, we're trying to speak to Dr. Akwete, who we've just lost. If we get him, maybe in subsequent bulletin, we'll continue to do the analysis of the Constitution that is 30 years, and you know some sectors are actually being looked at in terms of review. So the electronic levy will be implemented from May 1, 2022, and the Ghana Revenue Authority has issued administrative guidelines for the implementation of that e-levy. So let's go through these guidelines that have been provided by the GRA. So the first one, now, the first one of the guidelines says that an electronic transfer levy is imposed on 1.5% on electronic transfer. So the levy is charged on an electronic transfer at the time of the transfer. The levy applies to the following transfers. A, mobile money transfers done between accounts on the same electronic money issuer. Let's go to B, mobile money transfers from an account on one electronic money issuer to a recipient on another electronic money issuer. C, transfers from bank accounts to mobile money accounts. And on this note, I can tell you the banks are trying to synchronize their system with that of the government. D, transfers from bank accounts to mobile money accounts, transferring money from an individual's or an entity's bank account to another individual's or an entity's mobile money wallet. This includes payouts to mobile money wallets from gaming and games of chance, such as lottery and betting. D, bank transfers on an instant pay digital platform or application originating from a bank account belonging to an individual, subject to a daily threshold to be determined by the Minister of Finance. Okay. All right, so those are some guidelines for you on the implementation of the e-levy that's coming off on 1st May. In subsequent bulletins, we'll also do some more, bring you some more details of that, so you follow Metro News. Now, Metro News is learning that the team to ensure implementation of the e-levy at the Ghana Revenue Authority are in a closed-door meeting ahead of its implementation on May 1, 2022. My colleague Albert Abisi was at the GRA office this morning.
Keep it in your wallet. If it's going to work there, I'm going to withdraw my money. That is it. If e-levy is going to work, I'm going to withdraw all my money from my mobile money.
So when are you prepared to withdraw it? Because today is Friday 29th and it's starting on Sunday 1st May.
I think from today going there, if I went home, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take my Ghana card, then my ID, then go to empty mobile money straight, then remove all my money from there.
So moving forward, after today or after 1st May, if somebody wants to send you money, how should the person do it?
Oh, so I'm using bank account. I have bank account. Then I work with the bank too. So.
Okay, so are you going to go into the bank with your check or your ATM card or what are you going to do?
Oh, that's why I have my ATM card. I'll use my ATM. Okay. As my SIM card now.
The Ghana Revenue Authority on 27th May 2022 issued a statement spelling out its readiness or preparedness to implement the electronic levy. Despite some injunctions, it is keen on implementing its mandate. Also, my visit to the GRA has revealed that the implementation team is in a closed-door meeting to ensure that everything goes on smooth come 1st May. Also, some banks have sent alerts to their customers, reminding them of the upcoming implementation of the e-levy that is relating to wallet to bank transfer and bank to wallet transfer. We will continue to follow this up and bring you more in our subsequent bulletin. Alberta BCU, Metro News, Ghana Revenue Authority, Accra.
So as that as well, we'll be bringing you some more, details or updates of what's going on with the e-levy. Now, President Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo has reiterated his commitment to repeal the Article 53.55 Clause 3 of the 1992 Constitution, which bars political parties from participating in the elections of metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives, that's MMDCs. Now, on December 2nd, 2019, the government officially withdrew plans to hold a referendum on December 17th over the elections of the metropolitan, municipal, and district chief executives. Addressing the nation on Thursday, April 28, 2022, on the 30 years anniversary of the promulgation of the 1992 Constitution, the President, however, said the amendment of the Article 55 Clause 3 of the Constitution will enable a healthy body politic, expressing commitment to realize that by leading a public discourse and ensuring a mass consensus. So how will this quest be eventually achieved and soon realized? Joining us is an expert on this opinion, Dr. Emmanuel Akwete, who is Executive Director for the Institute of Democratic Governance, IDEC. Doc, thank you so much for joining us here on Newsbeat. You're welcome. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you.
So, especially specifically on the elections of DCs, how has been your opinion since the President expressed himself?
Election of MMDCs?
Yes, please.
I didn't take your question. Sorry. Hello?
Yes, sir. Do you want me to take that question again? Can you hear me, sir?
We're having problems with it. It's frozen. Hello?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
It's breaking. The reception is bad. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. It's a struggle, but I hope you can hear me now. Am I
the
audible?
Reception problem. Could they? Good afternoon.
All right.
I hear you. I hear you.
Okay. So my question is, the President's, expression of trying to get to a consensus or achieve a consensus on the elections of the MMDCs. What's your take on it, sir?
I think it's a constitutional requirement. Any article you amend or you seek to amend in the Constitution, you have to build a solid consensus in support of that. In the case of 55.3, the amendment requires a national referendum. It's a people's decision, the electorate. And it says 40% of the electorate, registered voters, must vote on that day, and 75% of the 40% that vote.
So why the need for a referendum if we really have to achieve something with a consensus? How do we achieve a consensus? And why the need for a referendum if we have to go for a consensus by all means? Okay, we seem to be having a challenge with our reception as far as the Zoom is concerned, but we'll advance this debate later on in subsequent bulletins. You're still watching Newsbeat here on Metro TV. Let's take a break. We'll be back shortly with some more. Welcome back to Newsbeat. It's time for business updates, and there's a release we received here at Metro TV from KOPEC this morning. It says ex-pump prices increase marginally from 1st May 2022, and the statement partly reads, following the regular fuel price changes per window, the dependent on the international fuel prices, the applicable dollar exchange rates and the taxes on fuel, the Chamber of Petroleum Consumers, KOPEC, do present its projection of ex-pump prices for the next window effective May 1st, 2022.
Petrol and diesel will go up marginally, liquefied petroleum gas will go down. It explained that based on the current average price of crude oil of $104.56 per barrel, resulting in $1,057.44 per metric ton for petrol and $1,138 per metric ton for diesel on the international market, coupled with the exchange rate of $1 to 7 cedi, 81 pesos, and the government's tax rebate of 15 pesos per litre still in place. It is expecting the ex-pump prices of fuel for the next pricing window from 1st of May to 15th of May 2022 to go up. KOPEC projects petrol to sell at 9 cedi 53 pesos per litre, about 0.4% increase, whilst diesel will go up for 10 cedi 82 pesos per litre, that is 3% increase during the next pricing window. On the other hand, it said liquefied petroleum gas is likely to be sold at about 10 cedi and 93 pesos per kilogram, showing a reduction of about 21 pesos, that is 2% over that of the previous window. The expected increase in fuel prices, KOPEC pointed out, primarily due to the falling dollar exchange rate.
It's time for entertainment news. My name is Desmond Okrekudanso, and the dissemination of false news through social media platforms has become nuisance to many. And Meta, formerly Facebook, has launched a campaign that is #NoFalseNewsZone campaign to help curb this. And we'll be speaking to some guests from Meta about this particular campaign. Oluwasola Ogbagbemi is the Corporate Communications Manager of Anglophone West Africa Meta, and Keziah Enim Ado, Director of Communications Sub-Saharan Africa for Meta. We'll get into that conversation in a bit, and they have joined me here on set as we get to talk about this. Good afternoon, ladies, and thank you for joining me on Newsbeat. Now, first and foremost, why this campaign?
All right, so I think the question is, why not now?
Okay.
We need to have the conversation about false news. We need to be able to educate people about the actions to take. And we generally just need to let people know that, you know, you cannot continue to spread false news across because it's harmful in our society. And so we felt the need to launch this campaign so that we can educate users, educate people on social media across our platforms, on Facebook, on Instagram, and on WhatsApp.
Through your research before this campaign, what are some of the things that you found out before coming out with this particular campaign with respect to false news?
Sure, look, I think it's important to know that false news isn't just a Ghanaian problem, right? It's a societal problem, no matter where you are in the world. And really for us at Meta or Facebook, it's really important that we address that. So the things that we see online, like misinformation, even simple things from pictures used 5-6 years ago, people are resurfacing it now, trying to align it to a different scenario. So it's really important for us to educate people, to really understand what steps to take, but to question as well, because it's not everything you read that is true.
Okay.
So we've got some tips in there and some further information as well.
So how would people get to be part of this campaign? There's a hashtag for it?
Oh yes, there's an hashtag for the campaign. It's called the No False News Zone, #NoFalseNewsZone. And we've done quite a number of things to, you know, get this message out there. We've launched a comic book, which is free to download from everybody across the world, in Ghana, in Africa. Everybody can download it if you go to www.comicrepublic.com, or you just literally go to Facebook, search for Meta Africa page. You would see a poster about the book there. Just click on that link and then you can download the book for free. It's a comic book that it's in a Ghanaian setting, has 3 characters who are on a journey to ensure that everybody around them are free of false news, and people are also educated about what this false news can cause.
And Kezia, how long will this campaign be running?
So look, this campaign is here to stay. So this isn't the first time we've done something in Ghana or in Africa. We're constantly here, we're constantly launching programs. You know, as part of the campaign as well, we're actually launching a digital training, so for youths. So that's happening, there's so many elements to it. So this is very much here to stay. So it may not be called the False News Zone, the next iteration, it'll be called something else, but it'll be at the heart about educating around misinformation and the impact it has.
Apart from the comic book, do you have any plans of, getting to the people you social media, schools, all of these places?
Yeah, so we're doing quite a lot of things to actually ensure that this campaign goes round across different demographics. So the first is the comic book. We have a physical copy that we're giving to people who are engaging directly. We have the online link where you can download and read on your phone. We're also doing radio jingles across different radio platforms. So we have radio jingles in Pidgin, we have in English, we have in Fante, and we have in Tree. Tree. And then we have influencers who are helping us drive the conversation across the issue. Influencers who have a huge following, and we know that people listen to them as well. We're partnering with EIB Network to help drive this across their platforms, and we've partnered with Comic Republic to also help us drive this conversation of the book.
Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon on Newsbeat. So Oluwa Sola Obagbemi and KZ Nimado, thank you so much for joining us. So that's it for the campaign. No false news campaign, no false news zone campaign. That's it, right? So that's it for entertainment news. My name is Desmond Okrekodans. Up next is international news.
National NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg says NATO is ready to keep up its support for Ukraine in the war against Russia for years, including helping Kyiv to advance from old Soviet-era weapons to modern Western military equipment.